Good morning, my friends. Welcome back. It's Belinda here, back with the mashupJoey challenge for December using the beautiful kit Evergreen. So this is the last freebie in this series from Joey, and it's been just a fantastic series. If you haven't checked it out, please go down in the description box, find the link. This is a freebie. The other 5 kits in the series are also freebies. Each one is 5 pages. Absolutely gorgeous, and each one has a specific colour theme, green being the one for December. So I'm sad to see this challenge end, Joey. It's been an absolute just joy to play with these papers, and I will be playing with them again, absolutely. So let's take a look at this. I did print this out slightly smaller than I normally would by accident, but that's okay, still usable, totally usable. So this is just the cover page. You do not have to print that out, but I enjoy printing it because there's bits that we can use. So title page there. This is the fussy cuts or ephemera page. Lots of beautiful elements to play with. We've got numbers and labels and butterflies and beautiful romantic images and these beautiful green birds. Just so lovely. I love this very elegant, romantic, classic feel that these have. So then we have 4 pages of the backgrounds to play with however you like. So as per usual, there's 2 different patterns per page. I love these textured ones. I think they're probably some of my favorites. I just love textures of wood, paint, you know, whatever. I just love those. I love playing with them in my own digitals as well. So beautiful, just beautiful elements to work with. Lots of florals represented. This paper texture, just absolutely gorgeous. And I love the depth of green in this one. This one's dramatic. It's bold, but it's also got that classic feel to it. With the pattern on it, it's just going to be a really great element for creating some contrast. That's beautiful. And then we've got the stripes, which again are just really, really usable, beautiful, and the beautiful dark floral, which again adds the drama and contrast and is just stunning. So I think that's, I've been through all pages. Yes, I have. So for today, I've kind of got an idea in mind of where I want to go with this. So bear with me as I try and bring it to life, because I haven't done a test run. I haven't fully fledged out the idea. I just got a kind of an idea where I wanted to go and thought, well, I'm just turning the camera on and we're going for it. So I'm going to put these top 2 aside for now and choose out one that I would like to work with. I'm tempted between these 2. Don't think I want that last one for this, or that one. I could have used that one, but I'm kind of like, which one do I want? And I just realized I have not pulled out everything that I need for this project. That was a bit silly. Oh, it's okay. I found something to hand that I can use, so we're all good. I'll just take the stuffing out of it because I need some clear plastic. Whoops, it's got cat fur stuck to it. Transferring. Let's just give it a wee wipe on my clothes. It'll probably just pick up more cat fur from my clothes actually, but so I want to do a shaker kind of window, and I haven't got any shaker stuff to hand either. I'm like, really did not think this through, but that's okay. I might just pause the camera when we get to that and go grab what I need. So I'm thinking maybe this dark one. I was originally thinking this one, but I'm thinking this one now. So let's grab this one. I am going to trim it down to just this section to start with, and I am going to be die cutting. Now, if you don't have a die cutting machine, you can totally just hand cut it. You don't need a die cutting machine, although it does make things a little bit easier. I've been having quite a play with my Cuttlebug lately, doing quite a bit of die cutting, so I'm kind of in that zone. Put our scraps aside, and I'm going to trim off the white just so I don't end up with any white in my die cutting, because that would ruin it. I would not be happy. So yeah, totally you can hand cut, or if you have a large punch that would do a similar thing, you could use a punch. There will be a way to recreate it. You don't have to have the machine at all. Right, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to back it onto some cardstock. It's not super heavy, it's only 160 GSM. I was going to flip it over, I don't know why, because it's the same on both sides, but I'm going to put it on that. So let's grab out the glue. So how are you today, my friends? I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's a little bit cooler today. I got up, actually had quite a comfortable night's sleep. It was quite refreshing. We had the windows open for a cool air flow because it was really hot yesterday. And the windows are still open, but the curtains are shut so that we're not getting the heat of the sun. But it's actually quite cool. Like I've got my hoodie on, and I had to go put socks on because my feet were cold. It is supposed to be like 25 degrees, I think, today. So not super hot, but not cold. So I'm quite enjoying this morning of feeling quite refreshed. I'm still tired. Like that won't go away in a hurry, but because it's cooler, I feel a bit more put together than what I have over the last couple of days. Partying is great, but it does take it out of one, and if you're not sleeping well, it just compounds things, doesn't it? Right, so just gonna, I haven't lined that up properly, it's moving on me, so it's fine, it will be fine. So I want this to dry before I run it through my die cutter. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to pause the camera, go grab the shaker bits that I need, and then I'll be right back. For you, it's just a blink of an eye. Right, this should be dry now. So let's chop off this. It has to be small enough to fit through my machine because the Cuttlebug is not a large machine, so it needs to be the right width to go through. There we go, and again I'm just going to chop off these end bits so that I don't accidentally get a plain bit on my die cut piece. Sorry, I am tending towards going quiet. I'm thinking. That's the problem. My brain's going whir, as in W-H-I-R-R, not W-E-R-E. Right, so it's a little bit curly with that glue stick. I'll just straighten it out a little bit on the edge of my desk. Right, so I want to choose a shape. So I've got square, rectangle, circle scallop, oval scallop, or stitched circle. I need a journal page actually. Got one here just for size. And actually I need to look at the images I've got. Not that it super matters, but just to give myself an idea, visualize. Just thinking if I do the large one, how would that look? Or maybe an oval. I might go oval actually because that's something a little bit different. So oval would be tricky to hand cut, not impossible. Just use a stencil or any other type of cutter. There are other cutters out there that will do the same thing, like the Fiskars one that you run around with the blade. You can achieve a similar thing. So I'm going to take the two largest of these scalloped ovals. So put that page aside because I don't need that for the moment. And I need some washi tape, preferably a lowish tack one. If you don't have a low tack washi tape, then just take a strip off. I'll show you. Whoops, that tear, and just like put it on your clothes to take off some of the stickiness, because you don't want to tear your lovely paper. And I do, oh, I can actually, but do I want to do it that way? Because yeah, I'm going to do it this way because we're not going to see a lot of the pattern. That's why I went with the dark, because it's more, it's going to be so narrow. It's more about the color than the pattern on the paper. So putting it this way around means I'm going to get a bigger section left to play with for something else. So I'm going to line up these together inside each other. The patterns don't match perfectly. Actually, do I want to go a size smaller? Let's have a look at the smaller one now that I'm having a look at that. I actually think I like that better. So I'm going to position it and hold it down with some washi tape. This is a really good use for washi tapes that you're not fond of. I like this one. It just happened to be the closest one to me that I grabbed. But if you've got, you've got some and you think, well, I just never use it, or I don't like it anymore, or you just want to use it up, using it on something like this is good, because you're going to end up throwing it away. After you've used it a few times, it loses all its stick and has outlived its usefulness. Okay, so we've done that. That's just going to hold everything in place so that when it goes through the machine, it's not going to shift on me and I'm not going to end up with a mess, essentially a mess. Okay, let's grab across my Cardmaker here. If you've never seen one, this is particularly dirty. I've had it for many years now and I haven't used it a lot. Since I stopped making cards regularly, I haven't used this a lot. But I have enjoyed pulling it out lately to have a play with. So putting my plates in, hopefully might just put it up a bit further. Put my plate on, whoops, bit of carpet fluff. Put this on. Now normally I would try and put this, the narrower end, towards the top, so it just goes through slightly easier. So I'm going to cut off that excess, lay it down, put our top plate on and wind it through. I'm walking through the steps in case there's a watcher out there who's never seen a die cutting machine in action. There's all sorts that you can get. They don't actually make this one anymore, which I think is really sad because it's a great little machine. Right, so sometimes it needs a second go if it hasn't cut through, but this one's cut through. So this is essentially the exterior. Maybe I move the machine out the way so you can see a bit better. Just pop it on the side in case I want it back. So this can be used as well. It's the outer rim of the die, but you can still use that as a decorative element. Put it down like that and you've got a cool frame. So I try not to waste anything. I mean, inevitably there is some waste that is not usable. But so carefully peel up your washi tape. And so, put the dies aside, we have this really cool oval frame. So if I put that on our grey card here, you'll be able to see a bit better. Now I haven't done wonderfully making sure it's even, but I'm not worried about it. I think it looks fine and it's really cool. And then you've got the center bit, which you can also use, and I would possibly use it this way because of the pattern on the paper, but just really cool usable bits. And because I've backed it with that light cardstock, it's got some sturdiness to it. Now I do also need to cut another, I actually need to cut another 2 out of the plain cardstock. So we need the biggest one and the third biggest one. Now this is going to be a little bit trickier actually to get it in the same place. I did not think about that. I might have been better off to run it all through at the same time. But anyway, let's see what we can do. Let's start with this one. And I'm going to just secure it down. like so, just to help me so I'm not doing too many moving parts is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm going to have trouble getting it exactly the same as the problem. I did not think this through. And I'm also going to have trouble with the window, because I don't really want to be cutting out all those scallops, because I envisaged hand cutting around. And now I'm like, that's making a job for myself. So what do I want to do? This is crunch time, on camera, pressure's on, trying to work out a way to get around this issue. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Do I want to put something else in the back? I was going to have this completely see-through, but I'm changing because I don't want to struggle to match the two die cuts. So instead I'm going to do a single outside. Do I want to do it on the grey? Yes, we're going to do it on the grey. Okay. Yep. The downside of trying things on camera for the first time, you know, it's like, oops, didn't quite think that through well enough. Okay, do I also want to die cut the plastic? I found a smaller packet to use too. Where have I put it? Sorry, just reaching under the camera looking for, where is it? Here it is. Because that other bit, I would really like to put the contents back in the packet. So I found a smaller one when I was looking for my shaker contents. So I thought, let's use this instead. Just want to cut it. Yeah, make sure I've got the size. I'm going to just lay it over top and hope it works okay. This B plate is very, very cut up, but it still works perfectly fine, so I'm not replacing it. I do have a spare one, but I think I'll keep using it until it breaks, and it's never broken on me yet. So did that work? Yes, it did. And because I used this double layer, I've actually got two pieces. And then, so we have another frame there, which is cool. Right, again, I'll move this away. So just put those bits aside. So now we're going to have this in behind, which I had not planned on. Like so. So take a bit of the plastic and I'm going to lay that in the window. Just checking the direction, because even though these dies are, you know, they're cut by machine, but they're not the same. Like, that doesn't work that way. It has to be the other way. They are not actually perfectly shaped. If they were perfectly shaped, it wouldn't matter which way you put it round, it would match up, but that's not the case. Now, do I want to use glue, or do I want to use double-sided tape? I think I'm going to use glue. I think it should be okay. Come on, glue, come and play. We need you. No, that one doesn't want to work. I did unclog both glues yesterday, but obviously that one just is having a sulk. So we shall let it sulk and use the one that is working. So this is on the back of the die cut. So when you put it through the die cut, one side is rounded and one is more sharp. And so the rounded side is the front. Right, I'm going to try and line this up as much as possible. If it's not perfect, well, it's fine. I think that tacky glue is actually going to be absolutely fine to hold that. And it is going to be sandwiched with our back piece. Right, so far so good. So in our window, I was going to have the thing that goes behind it to show through the window, but now that we've had to put a back on it, I want to actually put an image in there. So maybe if we do this, so what image would we like to pop in there? Oh, dashing fellow in the window. Okay, I think I am going to do him. And you're thinking, but he's the wrong shape. You're going to have things in the background. Never fear, my friends. I have a plan. Will it work the way I want it to? Well, let's find out together. I just trim him out and put the lid on my glue while I'm doing this. Otherwise we'll have two glues not working again. Right, grab out my fussy cut scissors and I'm actually going to fussy cut him out from the background. It's a digital. I can reprint it and have it again intact. This project, I am going to trim him out from the background. I do want to cut out this little aperture where his arm, between his arm and his body. So if you do have a die cutting machine, then this will give you perhaps a little bit of inspiration to get it out and have a play. And you could do whatever shape you like, depending what dies you've got available to use, what shape you might have. Sets of nesting dies. It took me a long time to build up my collection because I always considered them like boring, like they're just a shape. But they are so useful and so much quicker than trying to hand cut a shape out, which I did for years. Yep, I did the old hand cut. And then I also have the Fiskars system with the templates and the little blade that you run around it with. I've got that, but I never use it now. But I don't want to get rid of it either. I'm terrible at hoarding. I probably should pass it on, but it's like there are shapes there like hearts that I don't have nesting dies for. So, you know, but do I use it? No, probably because mostly I forget it's even there. And truth be told, I don't actually know where it is right now. I know if it's around. I've got lots of stuff that is around. It's around somewhere. I should actually get it out and play with it. That might be a good idea for a video at some point, once I find it. Right, take off that white bit at the bottom. He's a very, very dapper fellow, isn't he? Right, I'm thinking I would like some flowers or something. I mean, it's a guy, isn't it? Oh, butterflies. What about the butterflies? I have some butterflies already cut out. Where are they? Perhaps not the right colour, but we might find something that will do, just to save doing a bit of fussy cutting. And the whole idea of this is a mashup, so putting Joey's little mini kit together with whatever else you have in your stash. I'm just thinking that would hide the base of our dapper fellow. And that is a green butterfly. Do we want green? It doesn't have to be green. Let's try some other options. I don't know that I want pink. That's one of Joey's butterflies there from the pink kit. Oh, they're nested in together. They didn't want to separate. So let's try this colourful one. Quite like the colourful one. Or there's this one that does have some green on it, but some red as well. I've got to try the options, guys. I just do. No, not feeling that one. I'm wondering if they're a little bit big as well. Maybe the black and white one. Oh, that's it. I like the black and white one. Okay. These butterflies here are no longer for sale on Etsy, so I'm not going to worry about saying where I got them from. Right, so first off, I'm going to place this on our gentleman so that I know the straight line at the bottom's covered. Because that's the purpose of adding the butterfly, is to hide the bottom of his body. Very, very dapper fellow. Okay, happy with placement? I think so. So I'm going to just make a few pencil dots so that I get it in the right place. Oops, I've got some fluff on the end of my pencil. Kind of there, and there. Just in 4 points really, just so I can place them down in the right place. Give them a good dose of glue, and I'm only using tacky glue for this because my Cuttlebug machine is sitting on top of my glue pages. And so to save me having to move everything just to get to my glue pages, I am just using the quick, easy method of the wet glue. Oops, over a bit. Here we go. Okay, I've got one pencil mark showing, so let's just remove that. Right, now I'm just going to make sure that my butterfly is glued down properly, and it's not, because we're going to be adding glitter in here, so I want to make sure everything's glued down well enough. Okay, here we go. You could put anything down there. It doesn't have to be a flower or a butterfly. It could be a watch, you know, like an old-fashioned watch or something would be really cool. I just wanted to use something that was easy to put my hands on rather than hunt for it. Okay, now I'm trying to think which would be best to do. I think I'm going to glue this part on. So I'm going to leave the top section open for now, and I'm going to glue the rest of it on. Putting enough glue so that it's going to keep any glitter inside and not let it escape over time. You could put the glitter on and then glue the top on. I was contemplating which way would be easier. I'm going with this because I'm going to see whether it works okay. Okay, now I'm going to take my glitter, which is here. I've gone with two different colours. I've got this slightly chunkier green, and then I've got a fine gold. This cost me 78 cents back when I was a child. I bought this, I would have been under 10 from a local bookshop that no longer exists. It was a book come toy shop. It was a great shop. I loved it. The lady who ran it was a very weird person, very odd person, but yeah, I used to love going in there. It was so much fun. I don't know how I happened to have a 78 cents. Maybe it was birthday money or something, because that was a lot of money back then, back in the dark ages when I was a kid. And this green I think I picked up at a junk store or secondhand, I believe. Oops, getting it everywhere. I've never used this green one, so true to form with glitter, I'm already getting a mess. Right, so now I'm going to prise it open where I left that gap at the top, and we're going to tip some glitter in. This one's difficult. It's got a round bottom, so you can't just like sit it down once it's open, because it will just all fall out. Which is a flaw in the design of the packaging, in my opinion. Right, now some of the gold. I think that should be, just going to hold it there, give it a little, or maybe I put too much. Yeah, you can still see his face. Just going to put lid on my glitter before I knock it over, and maybe grab a wet wipe, because I don't know how, but I've got glitter on my mat. Let's put it in the little rubbish bottle. Just doing a wee clean up. Don't mind me, friends. So just know if I don't, I'm going to spread it from here to kingdom come. That's the way of glitter. Right, now I'm going to go in and seal up the top part. Keep all that glitter enclosed. Oops, I need to stay on the paper. Right, seal it in, lock it in. And you're going to say to me, or you might say to me, well, that's great, what's the point? We're not finished yet. No, no, no. No, we are not finished yet. Right, I'll just clear the decks a little bit. Right, so what can you do with this? There are lots of things. You could just have this as a journaling card. Journaling space on the back. That would be wonderful. That's not what I have planned for this though. It does cover, I did put a bit much gold, but it's okay. I'm just going to go with it. Right, so let's grab out another paper from the kit. Just looking at what I might want to use. I think maybe this one. Okay, so I'm going to chop it into the two sections again. Now, because I made this slightly smaller than what I meant to, because I normally print it off at 95%, and for some reason I put it at 93%. And that's fine. Like, that sounds a really minimal difference, and it is, but it does make a difference. But it's okay. It's okay. Right, how wide do I want to make it? I want to fold it in half. I think maybe 4 inches, and so in half it will be 2. No, that's too wide. 1.5 inches wide, which would make 3 doubled over. I think that will be okay. still got glitter on my desk. Right, as I was saying anyway, because I printed it slightly smaller, it's not going to be the same height as my journal page. It is going to be a little bit short, but I think it will be fine. Right, so let's glue this together. So I'm changing my plans because I had envisaged that I would put a band above and below the oval so that when we put something in behind the oval, it would show through the frame. But because I had to switch what I was doing halfway through, I'm just now putting a complete band in behind. So if I'd only done top and bottom, we would have been able to get the right height. Just seal the edges with the tacky glue. I mean, I could still like cut it in half and then join it on, but I'm not going to. So our belly band is going to be quite short, but that's okay. You could also do it actually as a sideways belly band. Maybe we might do that instead. Let's do that instead, and then we're going to have no problems with it not being the right size. Take off the white. Even shorter than the page, it still works as a belly band. You just can't put something as large in it as if you had a full size. So if we put that there, we're losing maybe ½ an inch in height. I do like that, but I also like this. So I'm going to go this way. No, just cut it. Try and cut it straight. Just trying to get it off his face a bit more. At the moment, there's a bit of green glitter right beside his nose. Kind of looks like a booger. Which is not exactly flattering, but that's okay. We can have a laugh. Cool, yeah, I like that. I think that's really cool. So is it straight? I think it's pretty good. So just going to flip it over. And hold it in place while I put the glue on. Sorry, you can't see where I'm putting the glue, but very hard to show you. Maybe this way. So I'm just holding it, flipping it up. And that way I get glue where I need it and mostly not where I don't need it. So it's going to be glued on a page. I'm not going to put it on the page yet. And so if you want to do the shake a bit, like the contents will move as you flip pages in your journal. But you can also just pick up your journal and give it a wee shake. Just play with your journal. Very interactive. So do be aware if you use a person that they're going to have glitter on their face. It's like almost like a reveal. It's like, you know, got to move it around so you can see the picture a bit clearer. And I kind of like that aspect as well. It gives it a little bit more mystery, intrigue. And I don't think that's a bad thing. So that's belly band, using die cuts to create it. And I think that's fun. I love the shape. I think it's really cool. Okay, we have this bit here now. So let's do something with this. Again, a little bit curly because of the glue stick. Flatten it out. So you could turn this into a journal card. Absolutely. It's got writing space on the back. Do I want to? Let's grab out our page. You could also turn it into a little shaped tuck spot or pocket. I'm thinking I want to turn it into a journal card. I do like different shapes. You know, I haven't inked the belly band, but I am going to ink around this. Not, do I want to ink around that? I'm not sure that it's actually going to show. Oh, it does actually. My gosh, it does beautifully show. On that dark paper, it just gives it something else. It is totally worth doing. I don't know whether you're picking it up on camera, but it's definitely giving it a darker edge, which is really, really lovely. And I'm going to do this side since it's going to be a writing, just a wee mini writing journal card. I did press record, didn't I? Yes. I had a sudden thing. It's like when I went to grab the glitter. Did I press record again? Phew. I did. We're all safe. You can watch my flummoxed moments when I'm thinking, oh, how am I going to work out this? Right, let's grab out our focal images again. I think I want this lovely lady here. Now for this, do I want to do more die cutting? Where's my ovals? Because we've got lots of sizes in this oval set. Down to the very teeny tiny little one that is that. So let's see what we can... Want that one. What's the next size up? That one. That would work. Okay, let's tape that down. Hoping that I don't get any white on the edges. Or it might, no, we are going to get white. So we're going to have to go the next size down. Go that one. Right, time for the Cuttlebug to come out and play again. And I also want to cut, so there's that one, and which one was the bigger one? This one. So I want to go the next size up. That one. That, and I want, do we want to go the grey? Actually, we could do the grey. I'm just going to lay that down without taping it. Should be fine because I'm not lining it up with any pattern on the paper. Run those two together. Bring it back the other way. Oh, what have I got there? I must have, the cardstock must have slipped under it, so I got a little bit of cardstock cut out with the image. See, the tape's starting to degrade with use. It's actually ending up being cut with the die, with the top side of the die. That's not unusual. That does happen with using the same tape for a few times. I'm thinking laying that, just give it a wee frame. Again, I'm just trying to see which way round it better matches up. Okay, tacky glue, where are you? Do I want to ink around this? Maybe, do I want? Yep, let's do it. Just a little light ink. And around her as well. And I'm thinking I might want a word on this. Do I want it right in the middle? No, I don't. I want it to the side. Otherwise we won't have room for a word to go on there. I'm just going to try and make sure it's as much as I can kind of straight and upright. Here we go. Now word, horizontal, vertical. I think either would work. Thinking. I am thinking. I've got this stamp here that I won as part of the giveaway from Hope and Letters. Bloom Gracefully, and I think that might go with this very well. So I'm going to stamp it in black, I think. Just clear off my ink pad that I've buried. This happens so quickly on my desk. Bury everything. Move something to get at something and it covers something else. It's just diabolical. It's just such a beautiful, very stylish stamp. I want the rest of the set. I really do, because they are beautiful. And I think I'll just square cut this out. No fancy edging for this. Oh, I haven't cut it straight though. Preferably would cut it straight. Just need to trim a bit off the bottom as well. Oops, too long. Need to trim it, I think, right down to the text. The flourishes. That's the word I'm looking for. Down to the flourishes. Beautiful. Let's ink it up. Just running out of ink on my brush. Okay, so that's from the one die cutting where we cut out our frame. We've used two of the pieces so far. We've used the frame that we were trying to create, our oval frame, as part of the belly band. Now we've cut out, used the middle section that came out as a wee mini journaling card. And so let's look at the final piece that we did from that single cut, which is the exterior frame. Okay, and one more thing for this. I think it would be really nice we had a little bit of lace, bit of a lace tab at the top. Don't want it to be very big because it's not a big card. Do I like it? Do I want to put it at the end so it goes in sideways? Or, you know, could go in that way. No, I actually don't like it. I thought I would like it, but it's not making me happy, so I'm not going to do it. Just a thought. Okay, maybe it's the wrong lace, but I don't have all my lace out, and that was just a scrap in my bin. So we've done two things, and I've lost my belly band. There it is. Two things so far. I love them. I think they're really cool. So we've got this piece here. We do have a white edge, or a grey edge actually. So I'm just going to give it a slight little trim down on that edge. It's also not straight because I wasn't worried about how I cut it originally. So straighten that up. Do we need to trim the other side? We need to trim the other side just to make my eyes happy that it's looks about even. And also to make it straight, because it's not straight. Okay, that will be fine. journal page, I just need to kind of set it on the journal page because it's hard on the green mat with the dark green to kind of see how it's looking. So I need my journal page to see that a bit better. Now, what do I want to do with this? We could turn it into a pocket. It could be a journal card. It could be the belly band with the clear window. That would be another way to achieve the look that I was trying with this idea, which didn't pan out because lining it up would have been almost impossible to get it properly lined up. So you could do that idea with this part instead. But I want to do something different. I don't want to do the belly band idea. Let me have a sip of my coffee. I am thinking journal card. Well, that's way too small. Can I get that without any white? I think it's close, but I think we can do it. And if we end up with white, I'll ink the edges, and that should take off any little piece of white that I end up with. So we're going to try it. So back to the die cutting machine. You know, if you've got it out, you might as well use it as much as you can. Okay. And she goes. So still getting a little bit of use out of that tape. Hasn't completely lost the plot yet. Okay, again, just going to sit it on here. And we ended up with no white on our image, so that's cool. So I want something in the background. Lining up, seeing what I might like. I like that. Okay. So I'm going to glue it on. Do I want a window? Do I want the plastic? Without having the shaker. Because we do have, I did cut 2 pieces of the plastic, but no, it would need to be bigger than this, and it's actually the same size. So no, we're just going to go without the window. I'll use that window for something else. Never fear. Not that you would anyway, but I will use it. Not in today's video, just in one of my other crafty projects. Maybe in a different video, who knows how long it will stay around before I actually use it on something. Making sure I get into the scallops so that those points glue down. If I tried doing this with my glue stick, I have no doubt I would gouge out my glue stick and leave glue clumps all over the front of the frame. And I don't exactly want either of those scenarios, so tacky glue is my favourite less mess, less mistakes option. Do have to be careful with something like this frame because it tends to distort because it's got this big hole in the middle. It can get a bit sort of sideways and distorted. So just go gently with it. Right, now I can cut around it. Got some fun scraps, which makes me happy. I probably should have inked around the inside of that aperture, but it's too late now. Right, so get rid of the bits that aren't usable and keep our scraps. But I do want to ink around both our image, our focal point, and the outside of this. And I think I might back this. Do I want to back this with something else? I think with some writing paper. You could leave it like that. Would be fine because it is writable. But you would feel the edge of that frame with writing on it. So I think another layer of paper would just help soften that contrast between the edges. Like that and this. But I don't need to back it with writing paper on camera. You know, you just stick a bit of writing paper on the back with glue. Cut it out and Bob's your uncle, you're done. Has anyone got an Uncle Bob? I do not. There's a couple of sayings. There's Bob's your uncle, and then there's every Tom, Dick and Harry. I don't know if you've come across that saying. It's quite old. I do, or did have, none of them are alive now, but I did have an Uncle Tom, an Uncle Dick, and an Uncle Harry. So whenever I hear that saying, it immediately makes me remember them. And Uncle Harry was my favourite uncle. Sadly, he passed away from Legionnaire's disease from compost probably 6 or so years ago, or 8. I've lost track. Quite a number of years ago now. It was so sad. He was my favourite uncle. Do I want to put anything else? I'm thinking lace, but I don't have my lace. Like I said, I don't have my lace. So I'm just going to pop it down. Just pop it on. These techniques are ones that I would use on when I'm making cards, or when I used to make cards. So those skills, if you used to be a card maker or still are, totally transferable to junk journal making, to art journaling, to whatever. Totally things that you can use, and styles and techniques use in your journaling. Oh, it's so romantic, isn't it? Lovely. We could put one of the wee labels on. Let's cut it out and see whether we like the label on it. Might just be a little bit step too far, but I want to check it out. Oh my goodness. Yawning. My apologies. I did have quite a good sleep last night, as I said earlier, but, you know, still tired. And thinking of all the things I've got to do and running out of time to do. Nothing ever seems to change. I keep sort of whinging about that, don't I? There's always so much to do. And which way up did it go? And does it matter? Doesn't. The leaves are down the bottom, so I think they went that way. No, I think it's just a little step too far. I'm tempted to put gems on it, but I want this to be writable, so I'm not going to do gems. But actually, just looking at it, this would make a really nice journal topper. I mean, obviously this journal is not the right journal to put it on, but wouldn't that be lovely? And then you could add lace in behind, you could add gems to the front, and it would be lovely as a journal topper. This journal, this is my personal Christmas or December journal, obviously is not setting it off nicely at all, but as a journal topper I think that would be really, really lovely. So it could be a journaling card, could be a journal topper. I think I'll still use it as a journal card. And once I've backed it, how are we going on time? Oh my gosh, we're over time. I'm so sorry, my friends. I'll see if I can cut a bit out or something. I'm not sure, but we need to wrap this up because time ran away majorly. So from the one single die cut that we did this frame here, we did this aperture from in the middle, and then we had the square bit around the outside. So from those 3 bits, from a single pass through the die cut machine, we made 3 items. So don't throw away your exterior bits from die cutting, because they are really useful. Same with the inside bits. So much fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry I went too long. It's Christmas. Well, coming up to Christmas, and I'm running out of time. So why am I doing long videos? I don't know. Take care, my friends, and see you again soon. Bye.